Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So Big Jake Paul just got hit with the deadly Me Too from a woman named Justine Paradise, who has over 520,000 followers on the app TikTok. She alleged that when she was one night hanging out with one of her girlfriends, that girlfriend said, "Hey, let's hang out with some cute guys." She texted another acquaintance who was named Michael, and then he was like, "Yeah, go on, come through." He slid her the Addy, and when her and her friend pulled up, they pulled up to the Team 10 house, which then at that point, when she went into the Team 10 house, they take their picture at the door, and then they have to sign an NDA. For the people that don't know what an NDA is, that's a non-disclosure agreement, aka if you go in here and you release some info you ain't supposed to be releasing, hey, shit gonna get real for you, because we gonna go handle this in court, not the streets. So afterwards, she's been over the Team 10's house a couple of times. Her and Jake had a couple flirty instances, and then one night they went up to the room. Now, you know what happens when you go up to the room. Some pipe is normally going to be laid down at that point, okay? So she went to the room. She wasn't really trying to do anything, and she says after laying in the bed making out with Jake, and then I guess Jake trying to initiate, she's like, "I'm not feeling it, I'm not trying to do anything." He then says, "Well, what's the point?" and gets up, undoes his pants as she's still laying down on the bed, gets back onto the bed on top of her, forcefully inserting his phallus into her jaw, that throat, and then at that point thrusting until climaxing within 30 seconds. Just some real despicable shit, as she says.
Then at one point he said, "If nothing is going to happen, then what's the point?" What's the point? I don't know, maybe I could be one of your friends. Maybe I can just be someone that you kiss. Never ever have I rejected someone's touches and they said, "Well, if nothing's gonna happen, what's the point?" Like, what? But that is what he said, word for word. I thought that was weird. That made me uncomfortable. And then he gets up. He doesn't go away. This is the point where if what he wanted is sex, he sees he's not gonna get it. This is the point where we would just go elsewhere, you know, go back downstairs where everyone is, go back to the studio. Like, he could even tell me to leave if he wanted to. If his sole purpose was to have sex with me and saw that that wasn't going to happen, he could tell me to leave. Yes, it would be like a jerk move, but he could have. But that is not what he did. When he got up, he undid his pants and grabbed my face and started fucking my face.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I know we're in the realm of a lot of ladies are out here telling their truth and they're giving their instances on what's going on in their lives and their personal situations and how creepy guys can be. I get it, right? I understand there are some weirdo niggas that can't read the room at all. But when I started thinking about the story, and as I was watching it as the story was being told, my brain was like, okay, oh, so he obtained kitty cat illegally. It appeared in his inventory. He used the Game Shark. He was cheating. Okay. And then as the story went on, I was like, oh, he didn't take kitty cat. Okay, so he obtained the throat card through Game Shark methods. And my idea of this, right, when I think like, yo, okay, if he's obtaining throat through unnecessary means, I thought, okay, she's at the side of the bed, she's sitting on the side of the bed, he stands up, she's looking at his back, phallus out, surprise, and she was so shocked by the big veiny phallus that at that point she couldn't register what was going on when the situation occurred, and he busted within 30 seconds. So let me break this down for you again. She's sitting on the side of the bed, phallus pulled, phallus enters. Before she can even register, he's done. That's what I thought this story was gonna be. But when I'm hearing things such as, I was laying on my back, we were kissing, he gets up off the bed, pulls phallus, literally, like, y'all understand how aggressive this is? I really do try to listen to ladies' tales, and I don't try to be, oh, you know, she's lying, Rob. Even though some of my videos may come across as that, I try not to do it. I try to really listen to people's fair shot, but it's just sometimes the audio really ain't matching the visual. So you're laying on your back, he gets up off the bed, he pulls phallus, he jumps back onto the bed and inserts phallus in while laying on top and somehow thrusting into the mouth and busts off in 30 seconds?
But when it's going in your mouth, that's touch, that's taste, that's smell, that's like, it's all in your face, you know? What am I supposed to do? He was literally, I was still laying down, he was on top of me and like holding my head like into him. Like I couldn't even tell him not to. He didn't ask for consent or anything. Like, he knew I didn't want to do anything with him because he said, if nothing's gonna happen, what's the point? And then he just shoves himself in me. That's not okay. On no level at all is that okay. It didn't last that long though, because he came in my mouth, and honestly, it was less than 30 seconds.
The reason why I'm taking this stance is because when you go to the court of public opinion, in the young lady's video, she didn't state that she went to the police and then went to social media. This is straight to social media. So when you go to social media before you do anything else, you're asking me to be an officer. You're asking me to be a cop. And that's fine. Officer Rob just signed in to work. All right. You want me to be a cop, so I'm going to look at this like a cop. I just don't necessarily believe this motion. That's all. Like the motion of how somebody would do this is probably the most uncomfortable motion that I don't even understand how someone could fire one off into a throat if you were to do this motion. So much so, like, and I'm gonna be fair with you, in the last week I've done a lot of motions. Like, I watched the Crowder bits, or for Steven Crowder, and he was doing the George Floyd kneeling on the neck, and I was like, I don't think he's kneeling right, and I got on the floor and tried it just to see. I'm like, hey, this nigga ain't doing the right kneel. Like, I don't know, it didn't look right to me, so I had to give it a try. And when I'm picturing the way this young lady is explaining the way Jake Paul forced himself upon her, my brain is saying like, okay, all right, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying that, boy, that is, you're just laying there. You don't, it's like, you guys to understand, for me to mount you, like if we're wrestling, for me to mount you, you're gonna know I'm mount. Nobody can sneak up mount. The only way I'm sneaking up mounting on you is if I literally get a run and start jump right onto, and if the nigga can do all that, then holy cow, I need to start working out again tomorrow, like immediately. If he's able to, you know, get some to direct his body like that, then that's really impressive. That's really, really impressive. But I necessarily don't believe it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just don't believe it. I'm not even gonna go the bite the penis route, because I've talked on the Patreon only podcast that you can get in for as low as $5. We were discussing that, and that was a take that a lot of people were saying, like, yo, bro, she couldn't just bite the phallus. I'm not even gonna go that far. I'm not even gonna say, yo, you couldn't just bite the phallus. I just want you guys to picture the motion for this. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I just want you to picture the motion. It's a weird motion. Hell, it would make more sense if, hey, you know, he was laying on his back, I felt uncomfortable, and I decided, you know what, I guess I'll do it because this is Jake Paul. And then he took it way too far, doing a whole bunch of bullshit with it. That would make more sense than the story she's telling us that she's laying on her back, Jake jumps onto her chest, forcing dick in the jaw, and literally thrusting, and fire one off in 30 seconds. I'm just gonna go full nigga and say it. Who is even busting off head? You know what? I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry for anybody new watching this. I'm really not trying to like make jokes light at this lady's expense. I'm not. I'm just asking, like, does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna go attack, you know, some people saying like, yo, her social media ain't popping no more. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm just saying that, does this type of motion make any sense to you? To me, honest to God, it does not. It doesn't in the slightest. And I think that's what's disheartening here, is because I wanna go into this. I don't wanna accuse somebody of lying. I don't wanna think like, yo, somebody's gonna get up there and lie to this extent on social media. I would not want to do that. But when the audio ain't matching the visual, what else can I do? You know what I mean? That's the thing. When you're more willing to come to social media first than to go to the police and then go to social media. And I'll be fair, I only watched 18 minutes of a 20-minute video. Maybe in the last 2 minutes she said, hey, I did go to the police and then I made this video. You know, I'll be fair. Maybe I missed that part. But from what it looks like, I didn't see that in the video. So it's like you're asking me to play judge, jury, and executioner with a man's name, and you guys know how I feel about this. What's the 3 allegations? A man does not want anything dealing with underage kids, beating on women, and taking kitty cat, obtaining it through Game Shark methods. That nigga's cheating. Mew ain't in the game, but somehow he got Mew in his Pokemon box. How'd that work? Use the Game Shark. So that's just my issue here. I still think though that they're gonna come for Jake Paul. definitely. Because collectively on the internet, people have made their minds up about the Paul brothers. Either you like them, you're indifferent to them, or you hate them. There's like really no in between about it at all. Logan has somehow kind of been able to fluff up his image and do a little better, but Jake is still leaning into playing the heel and is like going full out of control, especially since he's been boxing as well. So I just think based off of that, honestly, it doesn't even matter if this lady is lying or not. Again, in the famous words of Charlemagne the God, who cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining? So that's my thoughts on everything. You guys got to let me know how you feel about this down in the comment section below. As always, I look forward to reading your thoughts. If you're new, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out the Patreon with over 110 hours of additional content, you can do that down in the description below. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter, follow me at twitter.com/RMPKampachi. With that being said, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.